Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber, and a big fat welcome if you're not around here. My name is Az, and in today's video we are doing a big fat generations penthouse of sorts. Initially I was going to call it a legacy penthouse, to be honest, but then I realized that there is such a thing as the legacy challenge, and this isn't anything to do with like legacy challenge bits and pieces. It's definitely just a generations type thing, so that's what we're going with. This house is huge. It's got room for more than 8 Sims. That's including a butler as well. Well, not including a butler. Well, it's got room for a butler, but I didn't include that in the person count, if you know what I mean. Anyway, there's a separate sort of sleep out area for grandparents if your Sims have grandparent Sims and, you know, their family. And there is also room for like a baby and toddler, and like a bunch of kids and teenagers, and just heaps of room. Basically 8 Sims. So if you like to, you know, build for, or, you know, play with just a big family, then this is definitely the penthouse for your Sims. I'm actually really proud of it. I love how it turned out. It's quite different, I suppose. Well, to me, I don't normally do such huge builds like this, and I definitely spent a lot of time looking for inspiration images. I messed around with the back of this shape, just what I was working on a second ago, for quite a while as well, to be honest, because it took me a little bit to try and figure out how to lay things out and still keep features that I really wanted in the build. So that did take me a little while, but we did get there eventually. Because the house itself is so big, and it took me quite a while to figure out the layout, I do actually cut a lot out of it, so sorry about that. But if you want to see everything, well, then you can download the lot in the gallery just down below. But other than that, most of the screenshots of just about all of the rooms, all the important ones at the very least, are, you know, right at the very end of the video. So you can go check those out if you'd rather just see screenshots and not the whole process, because the process was a long one. But yeah, like I said, I cut heaps out. I had a lot of fun, to be honest, like even just trying to figure out what sort of shapes to include and how to do the grassy bits versus the outside seating areas. And I wanted to do like palm trees coming up and through like bits of roof, if you know what I mean. So it took me a little while to figure all that sort of stuff out, and get the shape right, especially with this is the bit that I'm working on now, is those holes in the roof. But I did swap to use, as you can see, the Spa Day fountain decoration, like those flat tools. I can't even remember what they're called, but I know they are Spa Day features. So I used a lot of them for the holes in the ceiling rather than the Get Famous pedestals, because although the pedestals are cool, they were a bit high for, I suppose, what I wanted. So we made a little bit of a change, and eventually I think one of my favorite features that I included in this particular build was the helipad at the top of the build. That was a lot of fun to work out and do. And I think it looks really cool. I just wish that it could actually be usable. It would be awesome if we actually had a helipad. I kind of wanted to make this room like almost kind of like some sort of celebrity penthouse, if you know what I mean. I wanted make the whole thing just a little bit flashier, a little bit more luxurious, and I suppose more for a Sim that is ultra rich and maybe a social media influencer, or, you know, something like that, somebody famous. But then at the same time, I wanted it to be a legacy one too. So we've done a little bit of like all sorts in bits and pieces. There are rooms that you can definitely change. I've got one in particular that is set up with the Get Famous video making station thing. Can't remember what that's called either, but that's in there. Some sort of recording studio. But that's a little cupboard room that is easy to like rejig, maybe make it into like a recording studio or something else entirely. I mean music recording, not like, because that's not really that different, is it? But you get the idea. So yeah, so this side of the build that you can see on the other side now is the grandparents sort of sleep out side of things that I had wanted to do. And then over here there's a section in the middle. As you can see, it's got a palm tree in it. Now I just kind of wanted to have like a private outdoor area for like the master bedroom, because I'd seen a photo and it looked really cool. It had basically a master bedroom that overlooked into some sort of pretty garden. And now I wanted the master bedroom up high, but I wanted it to overlook into a pretty garden, and then have that garden sheltered as well as visible, if you know what I mean. So that's where the Island Living glass roof ceiling floor panel thing comes into it as well, because as you can see, we'll throw that in a second. And that would do something, I suppose, to keep out rain and weather while the parents are in there absolutely enjoying some luxury time. So yeah, as you can see, that's fully coming together now. This is pretty much what that section is going to look like now. I used a lot of the fencing tool as well to decorate all sorts of spots throughout the place, just to sort of give the whole build as a whole a little bit more depth, I guess. Make it not so 2D and flat and boring, and just make it a bit more interesting, give it more shape and style or something like that. I'm not an interior designer, I don't know. I've included a little yoga / meditating area as well. I can't remember, I'm pretty sure it was just yoga, because I figured that would be a really cool spot for someone to come and just meditate, if you know what I mean. You can sit on the grass just there and do your yoga and practice wellness and all that other stuff. So there's plenty of spaces for your Sims to actually put activity and skill building items, if you don't want to have a big family. There's even like a guest bedroom upstairs that could definitely be converted into even a gym or something, which would be quite cool. Now we're working on the helipad, which was a lot of fun to do. Again, I used the decorations from the spa day stuff, the fountain decorations, these things here. And I cut out most of it, but basically what I do with these is I make a semicircle and then cut the entire floor in half, and just copy and paste it in a perfect circle, and then eventually we get there. At this point I saved it because I was like, oh, this is cool, I like what I've done here, and I'm gonna want to use this again one day, even though it's not the final design, because I do kind of have to cut out those corners just a little bit more when it comes to destroying the floor around it. So we just cover it up a little bit and make it not so circular on the inside, but I think that's absolutely fine, and I really like how it turned out, so I hope you guys do as well. In my last big video that I did, I suppose I'm gonna call it a big video, it was the elementary school build, the really fun one that I did for my A to Z challenge. Speaking of, I still need an F, so if you guys have got any suggestions for the letter F, let me know. I need your help, I need your input. What should I build? Because I've run out of ideas. I was just going to do a forest, to be honest, plonk a whole bunch of trees down, but then my sister was like, you're an idiot, don't you dare, don't you dare, and she told me off. So yeah, that's in the no-go pile, guys. But yeah, I would love some ideas for that. But my point is, in my elementary school build, I asked you guys a whole bunch of questions, and a couple of you responded, and I thought that was really cool. I got to know a couple of my subscribers like really quite well, so I'm pretty keen to do that again. Maybe ask a different question per video. So today's question for you guys, what I would like to know is what inspires you most. So when you are doing art, or even if you're speed building, or if you're doing something creative, or it doesn't even have to be creative, just anything. What or who inspires you? I personally, there's an artist that I follow on Instagram because I really enjoy doing a lot of watercolor art just in my free time. It's a lot of fun, and it's sort of like it grounds me. It's my happy place aside from The Sims, if you know what I mean, because The Sims always been my happy place, but I need more hobbies than just The Sims to be a functioning human being, apparently. I mean, that's just what society says, but basically I really enjoy watercoloring. So I've got an artist on Instagram, and his name is Cameron Stewart, and he just basically does a lot of stuff in black and white, and it's really beautiful. So what I quite often do will take some of his artworks and sort of recreate them, but then include watercolor and some of the black bits or the white bits, if you know what I mean. And I really enjoy that. So he is someone that really inspires me. I want to know what or who or if anything in particular inspires you. What does? Yeah, that is today's video's question. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I keep meaning to okay, so you remember the video that I released, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was my base game Cliff House one, but basically I told you guys a story about a rubber duck. And if you guys don't get my rubber duck reference, then go and watch that video because I promise you it's worth it. Basically, the most embarrassing thing that has happened to me in 2020, it's happened again, but to a different tradie. So guys, my luck is definitely not turned. Basically, this time what happened is, okay, for those of you that don't know, I'm calling it a rubber duck because, you know, it's not exactly PG. But basically I've got a rubber duck suction cupped up really, really high on my bathroom door. And basically it's not mine, okay? It's my partner brought it home from work as a total gag, and we just leave it suction cupped to our bathroom door because whenever friends come over they think it's funny and we think it's funny and we're all like wildly inappropriate. So that's that reason. But basically it's happened again in that last time a plumber came over and I forgot that, you know, my boyfriend's rubber duck was suction cupped to the bathroom door, and this time I had some guys installing AC. So it wasn't just one guy that saw my boyfriend's rubber duck, it was multiple. There was like 3 or 4 guys that had to come inside and go past the bathroom door to my lounge to install air conditioning. And I mean, I didn't even, like, I noticed halfway through this time when I was walking past and one of the guys was like, hey, can I like use your bathroom? And he seemed like kind of shy, and they were doing the shifty, sweating, nervous to talk to me thing again, and I was like, oh my god. And I glanced up when he asked me if he could use my bathroom, and then quickly looked back at him, and I was absolutely mortified. But I mean, what do you say? You can't exactly be like, oh my god, that's not mine, I'm so sorry, like, just take it down, because then it becomes obvious. And I was like, well, what if he hasn't actually seen it yet? So maybe I don't say anything, and I won't, and he can just use my bathroom, and I'll just pretend like this never ever happened. So that's what I went with. And I don't think it worked out very well, because let's just say that they definitely will have seen my rubber duck. So yeah, I haven't again, but I didn't want to say anything because it becomes obvious. I need to take it down. I need to move it. For a while there I used it as a doorstop, if I'm being honest. It's absolutely terrible and it's absolutely atrocious, but yeah, my rubber duck made a second appearance. Hopefully it doesn't happen a third time, because I'm pretty sure I'd die of embarrassment then, and by that point I'd probably just give up as well, to be honest. Just put it front and center on my front door, because why not, right? Anyways, moving on. This part of the build, I am working on basically the furnishing now. We've fully done the build part of it. I think there's a couple more changes that I maybe make just as I'm going around building, but there's not many at all. So working on the lounge, and you just saw the kitchen and dining get done. I think that kitchen, to be honest, is possibly my favorite kitchen that I have like actually ever done. I had a lot of fun doing it. It took me a very long time. I started recording doing it and using a lot darker tones, but then I was like, no, I'm not happy with this. I'm not enjoying it. So I spent like an hour trying to figure out colors that would go together and, you know, an actual style, because man, we do not have enough in terms of just kitchen counters. Styles have changed, and we've got too many of those classic ones that aren't even in like decent colors. When I was doing my New Orleans house, the real simple one, I was not satisfied with kitchen counters at all. I would really love some cool new swatches and new cool, like, just be able to decorate things independently of each other, and, you know, have those, what are those, cabinets that would actually match the counters, because then it would all just go together and I could make a perfect kitchen and my CDO wouldn't absolutely ruin me, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I use a lot of furniture from the Eco Living pack, so sorry if you don't have that one. I definitely use a lot because I absolutely really do love some of the stuff that came with that pack. If I hadn't have got it when it was on special, I think I would regret not having it, because just the tones, they're very much my aesthetic. I love quite clean, modern but warm, sort of pastel-y colors, and even though the greens and sort of blues aren't considered warm colors. I think in pastel, you know, being quite muted and dulled down, they're really quite pretty, and I love it. I think it looks absolutely awesome. So I'm really thrilled with them. Yeah, basically this is the main areas just about pretty much done. I use those blue bricks in a lot of places, including the bathroom. I just cut out a whole bunch of bathroom building just there, and you are seeing the final bathroom that I did because I went around and did them like all at once. I think except for the grandparents' house, can't remember. But yeah, basically they all more or less have the same style. They're just laid out slightly differently because each, you know, room has got a different size. And this is the master bedroom that we're working on here. I wanted the master bedroom to be super luxurious and just absolutely beautiful. So you've got like a little seating area sort of off to the side there, and then the master bathroom at one end. And again, these beautiful pastel muted tones with the City Living painting and that bed, I was just like, oh my god, it's like they were made for each other. I wish we came across that sort of thing in the Sims 4 more often, you know what I mean? But apparently not, yet here we are. And I haven't used that herringbone wallpaper in so long either. I was like, perfect place for it. Basically, I'm really thrilled with the entire layout of this house. I think it's turned out really well, and I hope you guys like it as well, because I'm gonna stop talking about now. I've talked for longer than I normally do, so sorry about that if you're not really, you know, used to that. My sister always tells me that she wants me to talk for longer anyway, so this one's for you, sis. Hope you enjoyed. And I hope the rest of you enjoyed as well. I hope you guys are having a lovely day. I hope you're staying safe and looking after one another, and especially yourself. Look after yourself, please, because nobody else is going to look after you like you're going to look after you, so keep that in mind, my loves. Anyway guys, as usual, this lot is available for download. The link is in the description just down below. If you want to know what packs I used in there as well, that's all in the gallery, so just go and check that out. There was a lot of them. Yeah, please do consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. It would mean a lot. It'd be cool to have you officially join the Azrnyx fam bam. Yeah, take care guys, and I will talk to you in the next one. Okay, bye.
Eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound. And we just slow down. For you and our safe and we were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can we just slow